Hi guys, welcome to Thruzone.com. This is Mohit Soni, and right in front of you is a very different and very special BMW. This is the BMW 2 Series Gran Coupe. Of course, this is the diesel version that we're driving with the M Sport package. And as you can see, everything is changed. There's no long bonnet here. There's no slab running around in a very rectangular fashion. There's none of that here because everything changes once you go from rear wheel drive to front wheel drive to make the packaging more impressive and more efficient. That's the reason why the hood is very short, and as you can see, it gets the typical very hatchbackish sloping front end. And as you can see, BMW still pulled it off really well, as if they are very expert at getting front wheel drive right as well, because this car has been grabbing so much attention, and rightfully so, because it looks fantastic. It looks like the mini 8 series Gran Coupe, and this is a big departure from the 3, 5 and 7 series design that we've been used to over so many years, ever since our existence basically, because obviously BMW is making cars since over a century now. At the back, as you can see, it gets a lovely set of tail lamps. They look really impressive, and again a bit of Lexus does come across when you look at BMW's new set of tail lamps in most of their cars. And you get these most poop shoots that you get with BMW M Sport package. You got this for diffuser sort of here, and it's finished in piano black. It gets this piano black applique here as well. And overall, as you can see, there you can call that the Hofmeister kink now. And yeah, it's a very sporty, very elegant design that has come out really well. Getting the design right at first chance of a front wheel drive car from BMW. Obviously they've been doing the active crosser and all of that, but the Gran Coupe design also is something very different, and it has come across and come out really well. You get these very sharp headlamps here with the typical BMW C-shape LED DRLs. And overall, it's a great car. Since it's an M Sport variant, it gets a fancier bumper which has scoops here as well. That is the fog lamp, and that is of course the big panoramic sunroof, and that's how the mirrors are done. This is how a dual tone mirror should be. Usually everybody gets this black and this blue, but this is the way how you do it. It's got these purposeful air vents, and you can sort of see that here as well. There's sort of a gap here, so a lot of detailing running around. You can see these vents, which are fake though, and yeah, a really good looking car, especially in this blue color. It's been grabbing a lot of attention than I ever expected to. It looks like a very short, very different brand car, but then people see that it's a BMW, they go even more excited and come us and ask questions. And getting inside is also a different take. You get pillarless doors. It's a premium yet entry-level car for BMW, so that's the reason why you're seeing pillarless doors here. Let me just put down the window and also give you a better second look at it. Yeah, that looks really nice. Pillarless doors always have a very special place in everybody's hearts. And that's the interior. Surprisingly, the M Sport variant comes with beige seats, powered seats on both ends. You only get two sets to set the memory function, not 3, because it's the 2 series maybe. Getting inside, you've got again a very big screen, and a feature that comes from the bigger BMWs, sort of this digital LCD dash, which looks really impressive. It's got a lot of features, and as you can see, the tachometer and the speedometer go anti-clockwise, and that is very Aston Martin indeed. This screen also is quite big for a segment of this size, and you've got these AC controls here. Sadly, I don't see a sync button here, which usually is in most BMWs. I think that's the only feature that they've cut. That's the glove box. Good, not great. It's illuminated and chilled. IRVM. Obviously, let me show you quickly what the all-Indian consumer favorite sunroof looks like immediately. It lends in a lot of light into this cabin. Quality is really good. Look at the soft touch material here and here. I would say BMW's not cut corners, but there are some things that are budget. but still not something that will put you off immediately. These seats really they are slightly small in size, but you've got these extended under thigh support thing here that makes things even comfortable. A lot of people still don't offer this. BMW continues to offer them throughout the range, so I think that's fantastic. Aluminum doors look really good. Plastic, like I said, in some places is budget, but not something that will put you off. And of course, this is the steering wheel. This is the design that I particularly don't like that much, but then it is very nice to hold, very nice to look at. It's stitched really well, it's really high quality. And that's the screen, which has Apple CarPlay and ambient lighting. It's got a sport display and navigation, and you can, as you can see, you can go through a lot of things. You can set the interior lighting. Like I said, for ambient lighting there is climate control, and it's for air quality as well. Doors axis can be can be changed like this, and you go back from here like this. And yeah, now let's get back into sitting behind my own driving position. This is the kind of knee room I have, which is impressive. Legroom is also impressive. Of course, under thigh support is not that great for me. Taller passengers would definitely not appreciate that, and they will also not appreciate the kind of headroom that is on offer here. It's very, very low, and I think you will have to sit like this. But then again, you don't get the kind of support that your back requires. You've got AC vents here, 2 fast charging points. This is really impressive. You've got nets to keep some stuff here, and everybody gets an adjustable headrest and a seat belt and a set of lights and a hook, which is quite neatly foldable, so it hides when you don't need it and looks neat. That is very OCD friendly BMW. And now let's get into the boot. Yes, that's the kind of boot that you have. I think it's quite well sized, it's quite deep enough, and most importantly, India friendly, space saver tire with all the kit that you would need to change it. Yeah, that's the interior, that's the exterior of the car. Both are great. Obviously, space is at a premium at the back, and the front also. When it comes to space, you truly tall passengers would find themselves slightly struggling for space. But then again, this car is mostly for driving, weekend drives, single day trips. And now let's get to the driving part, which is of course the most important part. After all, this is a BMW which is a front wheel drive. To begin with, let me tell you, this has sport mode, comfort mode and eco mode to begin with, and you've got a sport mode for the gearbox as well. Some cars manufacturers don't offer that in their base variant, in their smaller cars. Of course, this is the M Sport variant. You've got paddle shifters as well. And now let's see how it's like to drive. So what's the BMW 2 Series Gran Coupe to drive? Well, to begin with, this is a front wheel drive car, like I told you earlier, and it's a front wheel drive car and it's a BMW. We've seen that aspect in the BMW X1, but this is the first time the saloon is getting this setup. And saloons are basically BMW's lifeline. They are the enthusiast choice, and that going front wheel drive does open eyes to a very large extent. But let's come to the fact that you will have to deal with a lot of wheel spin, you'll have to deal with a lot of top shear. But as always, this also comes with BMW's core strength, the 2-liter 4-cylinder motor mated to the fantastic 8-speed gearbox. This engine leaves no room for error. It's got great drivability in the city, it's got a lot of mid-range power, and despite being a diesel, it's got good top-end performance as well. So on the highway, being overtaking after, even if you're cruising at 140, you have enough power to overtake absolute very easily. Mid-range, like I said, is great. Driving it in the city is absolutely no problem, because the engage levels are very well in check. It may be an entry-level saloon, but there is no entry-level behavior with the car. Engage levels are good. The steering is quite light. I expected the steering to be slightly heavy. I just drove the Mini and it's sort of based or gets the learnings from there. But the steering is a typical BMW, where it's light most of the time when you need it, and it gets heavier in sport mode, and it's obviously very precise. The feedback is also good. Since it's a front-wheel drive car, you will realize that the kind of feedback that is coming in from the steering, because you will have to deal with a lot of torque steer while you're pushing hard. Torque steer exists till third gear till 80-90 kilometers an hour. If you're doing a 0 to 100 run, you will immediately realize that aspect. What else? Like I said, it's great to drive on the highway. It's great to drive in the city. Engage levels are good. Steering is very easy to use. The brakes are phenomenal. Obviously, there are all 4-disc brakes. I'm talking about all of these aspects because this is an entry-level car. So, we're just bound by habit to talk about these small stuff. In terms of handling, well, it's got very little body roll around the corners, and it's not an rear-wheel drive car, so you can't have a lot of fun. You don't get that getting pushed out of a corner. You don't get that sensation from a BMW, which is fine from any other car, but it's a BMW, so obviously you made that conscious decision to buy this car, so you'll be fine with it. But like I said, there's no body roll. It's very agile, very nimble. It's very stable on the highway, just like any other BMW. It's very rock solid at any given speed. We all know these cars come from Germany and the Autobahn, so the testing is very, very well done. And I don't need to tell you this much, but I'm just telling you that in our conditions also it works really well. Most importantly, the ride quality, despite this is an M Sport version, it's got bigger wheels, it still rides beautifully. Most of the BMW 2 Series and 3 Series and 5 Series that we've driven, and in fact I don't think I've driven the 7 Series with an M Sport yet, but most BMWs that I've driven with the M Sport variant, they still continue to ride very, very nicely. They've got that compliance enough to deal with our broken roads, and it does that in the best possible way. I think after Jaguar, which provides even more lush ride quality, the BMW just gets it right. It fits, definitely fits my way of how to deal with a pothole while having fantastic ride, fantastic ride and handling, and great body control, and all of that comes together with the BMW. It's all there in the 2 Series Gran Coupe as well. So there's no compromise. It's just that it's a front-wheel drive car and not a rear-wheel drive car. And it's still quite fun to drive. Obviously, like I said, the getting pushed out of the corner sensation doesn't come from the back anymore. So that is a bit disappointing from a BMW. But then again, like I said, you made this. Obviously, if you own this car, if you're planning to own this car, you will make this conscious decision because it's a really well-spec'd car. It looks fantastic. Like I told you, it grabs a lot of attention on the road. I've never seen a lower end of the segment where a BMW has garnered so much attention on the road while our 3 to 4 days of driving. It's been quite a revelation in the way how this car is being perceived. Obviously this color, the design, BMW's just gotten things so right with this car that the competition which has always been in this segment has never been able to churn out something like this. And that's the reason why this car is going to speak volumes. It's going to connect with a lot of customers. It's priced well, it's spec'd well, it looks great, it drives well. It's a typical BMW, and in India you get a lot of fantastic after-sales packages at the dealer end and from BMW. There's obviously BMW Financial India Services also that BMW keeps talking about, and those seem to be working in their favor as well. And that's the reason why the BMW 2 Series will look incredibly tempting to buy in this segment, despite it's a saloon, it's a BMW and it's front wheel drive. It's got everything so right, and it does everything so well in this particular price bracket and segment that you'll be extremely tempted to look forward to it. And we also can't look forward to driving the petrol version, so when we do that, you'll come to know about it if you subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook, and I think that is it. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time in our next video. Goodbye.